Bears up around here. Every time I hear any noise, So we're all born in this world to experience beauty and experience abundance and joy and prosperity. To see the infinite combinations and infinite expression of the universe in this particular life, in this particular time, and in this way, in these bodies and in this form as a human being. And that curiosity that we're born into the world with, that's the gift. The gift to drive and to create, to be a vessel for the creative expression of the entire universe. When we're children, it's easy. When we're children, we are in the world. There's so much out there. There's so much vibrance. There's so much color. There's so much to do. We want to touch everything, feel everything, smell everything, taste everything. There's no limit to our curiosity and our interest, except for when we have to pass out like little puppies because we're so tired from having played all day long. That is the nature of who we are. We are complex beings. We're born into this world in bodies that take a long time to learn how to use. This is the vessel in which we reside. And it takes a good 25 years for us to really come into who and what we are, to mature as humans in order to be fully expressed in this world. And we all go through a journey, and this is the hero's journey. It's in the root of all mythology and all religion across the world, if you ever study Joseph Campbell. The hero's journey is something we all go on. Every single human. There is no exception to this rule. However, you can choose not to continue on your journey, but we're all called to that journey. And that journey begins unconsciously, but there is a moment in which we can consciously choose to embody who and what we are in our darkness. Once we experience the beauty of this world, we actually have to start to learn how to survive in this world and start to embody a healthy ego. Now, this ego learns how to survive. That is the real one true job of the ego, is the survival of the body machine. And as we learn to survive in this world, we socialize, we come up with patterns, we learn what love means, we learn what acceptance looks like in these different communities that we want to be a part of. We also learn what our expression is. We learn what our skills are. We test ourselves when we are creating what we want to create in the world, whether that's in sports. We test the limits of our body, whether it's in mathematics and test the limits of our imagination and our logic, or in our art. Like, can I create this beauty in this painting like a Norman Rockwell? Or can I capture these moments in video and sunrises, and can I create this music that is so beautiful it moves through me? And there's these skills that are acquired through this process. And there's other real world things too, like getting a place to live, having a decent paying job, having modes of transportation and ways to get around in the world and experience the world. And these are all real world things that we all do. At some point, and this happens to every single person, there's a time when all of those things that we've worked so hard to create and to acquire all lose meaning. And this is a good moment. It's a scary moment. And for many times, there's a belief, especially in our culture, that it is not a good moment, that it is something to be actively avoided, and it's something that needs to be fixed. And we have drugs to help that. We have antidepressants. We have all sorts of other mechanisms. We got TV. We got exercise that people do to the nth degree. We have sex. We have all forms of addiction that help us avoid the depth and the void of our own soul that is calling to us, that is calling us down into our darkness. And this call is the same for every person. All of the things you built, they lose their life. There's this There's this luster and shine that everything once had that no longer is there. And we have to actually let go of all these things because they no longer serve us. There's a great story in the book Nature in the Human Soul by Bill Plotkin, where he talks about these three angels. I'm getting goosebumps telling the story. There's three angels that knock on the door of your house that you've built. And they say to you, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to enter the world, and you must leave behind everything you've known, and you can never come back. And that is the truth. We can never go back to who we once were. Now that we may come back to the physical things, but what we actually must leave behind are all of the identities that we've acquired for ourselves, all of the meanings that once held place in our hearts. Those all must go. None of them mean anything anymore as we are called to a deeper place within us. And that deeper place is a vast dark void, and it is scary. Until we learn what's on the other side of our darkness, which is this incredible bounty of expression of the entire universe moving through us in the unique way that we show up in the world, in the unique way that the light of all things bends through us and shines its unique color and patterns in all forms that we take, in all forms that we do. There's this texture and quality and crookedness that the way the light bends through us that ends up being our art. And that is the call to live our lives as a work of art and beauty and expression in the world. That is not for us, but it is for the celebration of the life that already is here, and then in service inspires others to begin creating what they are here to do, the way the light bends through them uniquely. That is what the service is, and that is what we are here to do. And that is what every human is called to do. And there is a space in which we reside, that where we belong, that is what's calling to us. It's calling to us, wanting for us to show up. And on the other side is the most incredible joy and beauty and abundance and connection and community and belonging and presence of all things that reside where everything is alive. The rocks are alive, the chair is alive. You can feel the breath of the trees around you and the sun shining its beauty onto you every day. Every day you wake up and you're like, oh, what a beautiful world. And that is what is on the other side of the call into our own soul. And our work in the world is to embody this in a way that inspires others, as we said, so that we can begin to connect to the rhythm that already exists, that is a liveliness and an aliveness that is meant for the benefit of all people in a world where there are no losers. That everything we do, we leave the place and the world better for us having been in it. That is what we are called to do in our own unique way. And it is not about the things we make. Those things are merely momentary representations of the beauty that shines through us at all times. And it is the life we live, it is the process in which we engage with that creation and that creative force and that godliness within us. That is the message to others. That no matter how much you do, no matter how much you create that's beautiful, there are 1,000 other things that were a failure. And they're not failures, it's just the process of generating and cultivating this beauty within us and finding ways in which it lands and which it doesn't. This is our work. So let's all get to it. There's so much beauty to be had. And this is the beginning. This is the call. You know we got a vote tomorrow? That is going to be one heck of a party. There are noises everywhere.